All right, welcome back to VOP this morning. And the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has suspended its nationwide protest, earlier scheduled to commence today, August 9. Now, the federal government representatives had met with the doctors on Tuesday, which was yesterday actually, over their ongoing strike action and the planned protest. Now, the president of NAD had said that the outcome of the meeting would determine if the protest would go on or not. Now, Emeka Orji said that the meeting that the protest had not been said after the meeting that the protest had not been suspended with a review. I beg your pardon, that the protest had been suspended with a review of their plan in the following 72 hours. Well, VOP learned that the association took the decision after a meeting with the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and, of course, other principal officers of the upper legislative chamber. Now, on his part, the Senate President assured the doctors that the President, Bola Tinubu's administration, will accede to their demands. The association had embarked on an indefinite strike on July 26 over the failure of the government to implement its demands. Now, still with me, of course, is Victor Atewe, a public affairs commentator, and I do hope that at this point we'll be able to establish communication with Dr. Ambrose Igboke as well. Well, good morning once again, Victor.
Good morning for having me, and of course, good morning, Nigeria, for
All right,
staying
thank you,
connected.
Victor, for staying with us. Now, Victor, how would you describe this back and forth with doctors, resident doctors in particular now, and the government? They seem to be, being at each other's throats for quite the longest time.
It's of course in our today's Nigeria, government and of course organized labor going back and forth with allowances, people, arrears, and other entitlement they are due to. Of course, the resident doctors they are fighting for what is due to them, and it's their right, of course, to ask for it. Of course, we are here in the same economy where over 500 billion naira was budgeted for the national assembly members and focus their allowance and logistics and whatever they want to however they want to place it. So resident doctors, these are people who save lives. I was supposed to be talking about this in today's 2023 Nigeria. This is not supposed to be. Sometimes I see some headlines and I can't but just shake my head. These are matters of urgency. These are lifesavers. These are people that we have shortage of doctors to even start with. Doctors are leaving the country right now to Canada, traveling to United Kingdom because their peers, their contemporaries are being paid higher. They're being underpaid, and of course, their money that is due to them, they have to go on strike to ask for it. Is that are we? I'm trying as
Okay,
much as I
I
can
feel
to
I
mind
feel
my
your
word,
passion.
mind my word.
I feel your passion.
Yeah,
But let's look at the no work, no pay policy. How effective do you think that has been, or how effective do you think it will be? Government saying, "Look, if you don't work, you will not be paid." Isn't that bullying?
I think our government of today need to learn its approach when it comes to public communication. These people have been working, have been paid. That's the question to start with. You now using that to blackmail them, telling them that no work, no pay. I think it's really insensitive to their needs. These people are not asking for they're not asking for the extraordinary. In part of what they're asking for, of course, increment in their salary. And I think it's long overdue. You now telling them that if you don't work, you don't pay. Do not forget that these people have an option. And of course, they're exploring that options. What we have a National Assembly members trying to sponsor a bill. I mean, trying to sponsor a bill preventing our doctors from traveling abroad. If nothing is done as a matter of urgency, we're still going to have lots of doctors leaving the center of the country. And what would that leave our health sector? What would that leave our health sector? What would happen to our women and of course children? It goes to show the seriousness in our governance structure and system. At this level in our economy in 2020 Nigeria, I was supposed to be talking about this. If not, they are the first to be attended to. The teachers, the workers, they are the drivers of our economy. But no, we have a government and of course a system that empowers, enrich, and of course that boosts the politicians and the political class rather than those that are working to make sure that the economy is being sustained. You know, so no work, no pay. For me, I think it's a no-no. The government should even go that route. The government should see how they can, as a matter of urgency, attend to their needs and, of course, not to extend this. I mean, you need to see the people that are stranded and stuck in the hospital. This government. I mean, we have one doctor to about, if I'm not wrong, one doctor to about 6 to 10 patients per day.
Mm.
They have been overworked. So and asking for their allowances, asking for their arrears and increase in their salary is their right. It's their right. If in a serious economy and of course serious government, they ought to have been an emergency being conveyed and of course an emergency payment made to them to show that yes, we understand your plight and we feel you, but given to the circumstances we're surrounded with, please give us time to see how we can measure up to attend to your needs. But no, you're coming up with a threat, and of course, do not forget, government is used to that line, line of action to say no work, no pay. How that felt? For those that are work, can they be paid? The answer is no. So it's for me, it's a no-go area. Government should not go that route for the people right now. There's a lot of frustration in the land, and I think that dialogue is the way, and not just dialogue by word. Actions need to be put in place. That's why the doctors, they're asking for their right, and I think it's their right for them to be attended to, and that needs to be done now. And of course, no for in actions.
All right, so yes, it is their right. Doctors swore an oath to save lives. So tools, where does that put where does that place the oath to serve that they swore when they became doctors?
Doctors sworn an oath to protect lives. First is life. Second, their welfare needs to be guaranteed. Doctors in Nigeria is not different from doctors in Canada, in the UK, United States. They need a conducive environment. The work itself is cumbersome. The work itself is stressful. It's draining. It's emotionally draining. You need to go to the hospital and see people cry. There's a lot of emotions flying up, flying around. So if their welfare is taken care of, they have families. They go to the same market you and I go to. So it's not about them taking care on, first of all, asking them to, they swear an oath to protect lives and of course to take care of people's, people in need. But they have to be fed too. They have families. They have to be taken care of. At one point, we have one doctor, one medical person in our families. How would or see them when they go to work for their mental health and their welfare is not being taken care of? Don't be able to deliver. So number one is it's so appalling that in Nigeria we ask for the impossible and we expect the possible.
All right, now
That's the word.
asking for the impossible and expecting the possible. Okay, now that the protest has been called off, and there are plans, and they say that they are looking at resolving this issue in 72 hours. One would wonder if the issues could be resolved in 72 hours, what kept them all this while? Why hasn't it been resolved already? And what do you think will be done differently in 72 hours to resolve these issues?
We have governments. I'm talking about not just the current government, successive
Okay.
government.
Okay.
That on the only language they understand is strike, and after strike dialogue. Protest. Strike, protest, strike, dialogue. That's what they understand, and that has been the chain of communication from the organized labor to its citizens. For organized labor to the government. I mean to say. Now, them going on strike is to vent their their plight, that they need this to be attended to, and do not forget that they always come back on the round table. Government, successive government will promise them, and nothing will be done. That being said, them calling it off really shows how passionate they are to the plight and the needs of Nigerians. Do not forget, like I said earlier, Nigerians, there are a lot of Nigerians right now that are due for operation, but due to they're not being attended to. Lives have been lost. None have been accounted for. None have been accounted for. So they are seeing these things. I think that's the reason why they had to cut it off and then down with them. Which I think it doesn't have to get to this level for government to sit down with them. Say, okay, you know what they need to do. And of course, giving government 2 hours, and if not, they will continue. I think it's fair enough. It shows, like, going to your point now, saying that they swore to protect lives, they swore to protect life and life first. The government, I'm ready to listen to government. I'm listening to government. I expect that the government needs to be proactive in their actions, and of course, we need to see a tangible, being made to address their complaints.
Okay.
And that has to be done.
That has to be done now. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, well. We do hope that this will be resolved and doctors will get back to work, because we have patients who need attention. And these are resident doctors, of course. Well, strike action has been, as you rightly pointed out, what the government listens to. And that is unfortunate, I must say. Well, I must say a very big thank you to you, Victor Atewe, public affairs commentator. Thank you for staying with us on the program. This is how far we can stretch it. We appreciate it. Unfortunately, I missed out on a lot of things that you said, because the quality of the audio was really bad and I couldn't hear you clearly for most part of the interview. But I must appreciate you for staying with us. Thank you very much, Victor. All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we get into other aspects of the program.